All right, let's talk about something huge. We're going to tackle a pretty massive question today. How do you actually learn to fly to another star? I mean, it's one of the most insane challenges you can imagine. And we're going to break it down using something called the learning ladder.
Okay, so let's just jump right in. What does it really take to pilot a spaceship to the nearest star, Proxima Centauri? It's way, way more than just knowing which buttons to push. We're talking about a level of mastery that's on a whole other planet, literally. I mean, seriously, just imagine this for a second. You're 4 light years from home, something goes wrong, and your life support is on the fritz. You can't just Google the answer or call tech support, right? You have to know, deep down in your bones, how to fix it. The stakes are everything. So the real question is, how on earth do you train for that? Well, it turns out there's actually a blueprint for this kind of thing, a psychological model known as Gagné's hierarchy. And it's basically a step-by-step roadmap for taking someone from a total beginner to a true expert, someone who can handle, well, anything. So this model, Gagné's hierarchy of learning, is this really powerful framework that shows how we build expertise, layer by layer. The whole idea is you can't just skip to the end. You have to start at the bottom with the basics and build your way up to that creative, almost instinctual level of problem solving. Okay, so let's do it. Let's climb this ladder. We're going to walk through the 5 levels of learning that could take a brand new space cadet and turn them into a commander, ready for the stars. So here it is, this is our roadmap. We start with verbal information, then move up to intellectual skills, cognitive strategies, attitudes, and we top it all off with motor skills. And the key thing to remember is that each step is built right on top of the one before it. You can't skip ahead. All right, first rung on the ladder, verbal information. This is your foundation. It's all about memorizing the basic facts, the vocabulary, just the building blocks of whatever you're trying to learn. Without this, you're not going anywhere. You can't even start to understand the real challenges. So for our astronaut in training, this is stuff like memorizing core principles until they're just second nature. And we're not talking about trivia night here. These facts are the absolute bedrock for everything else they're going to learn. But, just memorizing stuff isn't going to get you to Proxima Centauri. And that's why we have to climb to the next level, level 2, intellectual skills. This is where you take all those facts you memorized and actually start to use them. It's about learning the rules of the game, right? How to use formulas, how to predict what's going to happen next. See the big shift? We've gone from just knowing what something is to knowing how it works. So our astronaut isn't just defining what an orbit is anymore. Now they're in a simulator actually calculating one. They're using the laws of physics to make stuff happen. But here's the thing. Just following the rules is great until something breaks. And that brings us to what might be the most important level of all, level 3, cognitive strategies. This is a huge jump. We're not just applying rules anymore. This is about learning how to think when there are no rules or when the rules you know don't work. It's about building mental models so you can improvise when the unexpected happens. This is basically the expert's internal monologue, right? A micrometeorite hits the ship. The pilot isn't going to reach for a textbook. No way. They're instantly running through this super complex decision tree in their head, diagnosing the problem, weighing all the options, coming up with a plan. All in seconds. That's problem solving under extreme pressure. But look, all the technical skill in the universe won't help if you can't handle being stuck in a tiny metal box for years. And that's where level 4 comes in, attitudes. This is all about your internal mindset, your mental toughness, the psychological strength you need to deal with incredible stress, loneliness, and just constant uncertainty. And let me be really clear here. These are not soft skills. Out there, in the deep black, they are straight up survival skills. Being able to get back up after a failure, being a good teammate, staying curious, all of that is just as important as knowing how to fix the engine. And that brings us to the very top of the ladder, the final level, motor skills. This is where everything else, all the knowledge, the strategy, the right attitude, gets translated into physical, precise action. It's about mastering a complex task so well that it becomes pure instinct. Think about docking a ship in 0G. You can't just think your way through that. It takes thousands upon thousands of hours of practice until your hands and your body just know what to do without you even thinking about it. It's that perfect fusion of mind and muscle, working flawlessly when everything is on the line. Okay, so those are the 5 levels. But how does it all come together? How do you actually go from cadet to commander? Let's map it out. You can see how it builds, right?
Year 1, you're memorizing the basics. Year 2, you're calculating things. Year 3, you're troubleshooting, all the way up. By the end of this journey, the astronaut isn't just using one of these skills at a time. They're pulling from all 5 layers at once, seamlessly. That's how you learn to do the impossible. Okay, so this model is obviously perfect for making astronauts. But what about the rest of us? What does this mean for us right here on Earth? Well, here's the big takeaway. This isn't just for astronauts. It's for surgeons, it's for programmers, for musicians. Really, it's for you. Anytime you're learning something complex, you're climbing this exact same ladder. The trick is to be deliberate about it, to build up your skills step by step from the basic facts all the way to that instinctual mastery. And this is why it's so important right now. We live in a world where things are changing and advancing faster than ever before. And in that kind of world, maybe the most important skill you can have is understanding how to learn. Knowing how to take a big, scary skill, break it down, and build it up from scratch, that's a superpower. So think about whatever it is you're trying to learn right now. I want you to ask yourself, where are you on the ladder? Are you still on the bottom rung, just gathering facts? Or are you getting ready to solve the problems that don't have answers in the back of the book?